Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Portable Third. No, we don't need to do stretches, we need to do some hunting, because that is what's going to be most entertaining. I mean, this would probably be entertaining for precisely as long as that animation would take place, but, or would take to complete, but, yeah, we don't want to be doing that for any longer than that. It is Doomlink's live hunts, and, yeah, I'm going to be drinking beer out of a wine glass, because as I explained in my update series, which was for the 20th of November, that last video that I recorded, I've actually packed away all of my drinking receptacles that are made of glass, just to be, you know, painfully descriptive, because I am moving away soon. I'm not moving away from you, I'm not moving away forever, I am relocating, and, you know, I would say that my recording setup will in fact be better off for it. Now let's just make sure that we're not having any video issues. I don't think that I would be with a game like this, but let's just make sure that everything's under control. That is looking actually very much under control. Not just under control, but phenomenally under control. So, there you are. I will be monitoring the volume of the game. I'm still not entirely sure if it's going to be acceptable or not. And let's disembark. Disembark? That's not quite the word I was looking for there. I meant depart. I could either embark on the journey or depart. Disembark? Not at all the word I was looking for. But anyway. If you have a question as to why I'm actually doing Portable Third, it's because I was genuinely in the mood, and even though for some reason you guys don't like watching Portable Third, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this specific game that makes, I don't know, about 10% of my regular viewership just decide, no, I'm not going to watch that. No, I don't like Portable Third, I'm not going to watch him play that game. I really don't know what it is, but that's alright. This is a game that I enjoy playing, so I will play it regardless. I don't know why I was running in this direction. I guess it has been some time since I was last playing Portable Third, but that really shouldn't be an excuse for me not being able to remember where this monster spawns. I can't remember if I told you or not, but it is Gold Rathian. I'm just doing random hunts as I typically do in the Live Hunt series, using the Huntsdiverse bot command that just gives me a random quest. I'm using the Zenoga Dual Blades, and they are almost overkill for this quest. Not quite, if only for the reason that this is a higher level monster as compared to your standard high rank. Sort of endgame high rank, I suppose you could say. But I suppose the meaning behind my words overkill, or just the word, the use of the word overkill, is that the Zenoga weapons in this game are just ridiculously strong. They are so strong that you really don't need to worry about the elemental damage at all. You can actually just use Zenoga weapons, much like you can with Elatrion weapons, against any monster, and it's going to be an entirely acceptable choice. Oh god, I was not anticipating another tail flip there. Out of the fire. Let's see if she does it again. No, she didn't do it again this time, but my positioning in relation to her during that attack was atrocious, and I will endeavour to not repeat that. The team that I've got at the moment is comprised of at least 2 regulars in the Portable Third community. People who you will often see playing at any given time. Armachan I've played with a number of times, both off-camera and on-camera. Kakalang is, I suppose, what you would call a more recent regular. He's been a regular player over the last 6 months or so. But, you know, a regular in a big way. He's here every day. And good for him. Nothing wrong with spending your days playing Portable Third. I can think of worse games to play. That would be a very disagreeable sentiment to most Freedom Unite players, because there are these little cliques that form in the traditional communities, and I have to say that the Freedom Unite players versus the Portable Third players, you know, those two groups and the way that they get played off against one another is quite sad to watch, actually. Little do they realise that both games are great, and we should not be fighting amongst ourselves in in the traditional community, we really should be uniting against the changes that have been made in 5th generation, rather than literally arguing about nothing. But whatever. These people probably won't be playing the modern games at all anyway, so I suppose it doesn't mean all that much if they are going to choose to argue about which game's better, Portable Third or Freedom Unite. It's such a strange comparison to make as well. It's as if the games Tri and 3 Ultimate don't even exist. But I suppose for them, that's pretty much how it is. I will sharpen up once I drop down to green sharpness. That's typically how I do it for high rank games. Oh. Let's go for that tail cut. I reckon we can get it. It's quite hot where I am, by the way, so if I do at any point seem uncomfortable, or if I express a feeling of discomfort, you know, it will typically be verbalized in the following way. It's fucking hot, or fuck it's hot, or actually that's not verbalizing, that's, you know, emoting. I'm emoting that I'm I'm hot. But yeah, seriously, it's not the most pleasant temperature to be playing video games in, or to be recording in, but I've got a cold beer, so that makes it slightly more tolerable. Well, I'm actually not going to aim for the tail, because we have a KO, and I do not... Well, I thought that was a KO. I saw stars over the head, so either that was me hallucinating the stars, or the KO actually happened sooner than I thought it did. Let's go for the tail now. Oh, can I reach it there? Sort of, just barely. Still haven't been able to cut it though. Eventually, I'm sure I'll succeed. I hope you guys are enjoying the variety of games that I'm able to present to you all. I mean, I do play a lot of different Monster Hunter games, but as I have explained in the past, what really dictates my ability to play many different ones is the sort of groups that I can get into. If I'm going to be live streaming, it needs to be a group that I can be reasonably convinced of a sort of... Let me rephrase that sentence. If I'm playing with a group of people, I need to be reasonably convinced that I can get 2 hours worth of hunts out of them for live streaming purposes. And in certain games it can be a little bit of a struggle to get a group like that, so that is usually what dictates whether or not I play a game. Not anything like preference, as long as it's, you know, between the generations of 1 and 4. Pretty much the only factor at play is whether or not I can get into a group to play with. Hey, Simply Rome. Hopefully the game volume is appropriate. I think it's fine. Let me test that. Is that a loud enough sound? Let's bump it up a little bit, shall we? This game is a little bit quieter than Freedom Unite. Well, among the PSP games, this for some reason is the most quiet. At least I think so. Maybe that's something in my PPSSPP settings that is game-specific. I don't think that's how it works. I think it's emulator-specific. Which is to say that there's one volume setting within the emulator and that would be reflected in all games, but that might not be the case. I don't know. So, if anyone else doesn't experience a difference in volume across the games, that must be what it is. It must be a game-specific gain setting that I have lower in Portable Third as compared to the other games. But at this stage I'm not really intrigued enough to go, I guess, investigating through my audio settings to try and, I guess, fix. Got a Wyvern Stone? Yeah, apparently Simply Rome has been trying to set up Hunsterverse, which is a good thing. If that's how you're going to play the older games, then whatever gets you playing them. I would generally recommend using Hunsterverse as a service. It's probably the best experience you're going to get, just as far as not coming across cheaters, and also just being able to coordinate hunts. Yeah, the community can be a little strange, but I just can't personally imagine there being a better community setup. I really can't. There might be, like, technically more reliable ways to connect to the game. I get that, but I just can't see it personally. I would always recommend using Hunsterverse. Alright, let me share the screen here. Using RH to mean random hunts. Just to name him the N-word at this point. Oh yeah, I think those of you will know him as Nagakuka. He's been naming his felines. I think so far we've got... Hold on, we had a list that was given to us just before. Where is it? Cat, cat, neko, neko, gato, gata, and yan, yan. So he's not exactly the most gifted when it comes to naming his pets or his comrades or his servants, however you want to describe the felines. And apparently he's now been suggested to name one of them the N-word, which one can only imagine being spelt out in its complete form, not literally N-word. So, there you are. Green Nagakuga. Not the most fun hunt, but do you know what? We are going to do the single hunt, because if we do the double, one of them's probably going to be hosted by someone that will cause terrible lag. So even though I would technically prefer to do 2 Nagakugas, I will just post a single green. So that is going to be my choice of hunt. I'll use a greatsword because greatsword against Nagakuga sounds like a good bit of fun. A good amount of fun. I think we'll use... Look, to be honest, I think I would only use this with the Elatrion Revolution because presumably that weapon has topped out sharpness. It does. So that would mean that I will use sharp GS with all other greatswords. Stop that. So we want a... I think still a Thunder Greatsword. I've been over this before, but I was genuinely under the impression that if Nagakuga, the standard Nagakuga, was to be given the primary weakness of Thunder in this game, while in the previous game it was Fire, if you were to then, on top of that, introduce a Nagakuga subspecies, it would stand to reason that subspecies would have a Fire weakness like the old one. But no, they both have Thunder as their primary weakness. I do want to stress that they are both still weak to fire, but we're talking about primary weaknesses here specifically. Both of them, despite being practically the same fight, just being different coloured monsters, they are actually primarily weak to Thunder, the both of them, which is absurd. Absolutely absurd. But anyway, rant over. I have gotten that out of my system. I have to go on that rant at least once every 4 months. Now I'm fine for another 4. I'm not sure what is causing your controller issues. Simply Roam, I'm not always the best person to turn to when it comes to these things. I'm pretty good at troubleshooting my own stuff, but troubleshooting other people's stuff, it's a little difficult. When you're troubleshooting your own stuff, you're able to, like, you know all of the factors at play, whereas if you're trying to troubleshoot someone else's stuff, you have to try and figure out all of the details of their setup and figure out what might be going wrong. That's a big process. I'm not really the type to go investigating like that. I'll do it if I'm really trying to play with someone that I want to play with, but... yeah. Apparently... oh yeah. Sadly, Nagakuka cannot join because his save in Portable Third is low rank. How tragic. We'll have to settle for a level 1 here. Yeah, alright. Congratulations. Yeah, it's not that I don't want to play with you, Simply Roam, it's just that that's quite a time investment to try and troubleshoot things with you. And besides, it sounds like you're going to have to make a new character, so it'll be some time before you'll be able to actually hunt in this capacity here. I'm not really worried about which part of the monster I hit with my... Well, I will be worrying about that when we've got a paralysis in effect. But as far as just getting a greatsword charge off, that's what's important against a monster that's constantly moving like this. I'll just have to be careful of Ama-chan here. I'm sure he's going to play with care. He's not just going to mindlessly be shooting around. But you see, even if he's being careful with his shooting, I may just end up being within range of it. Or I may actually inadvertently place myself in the line of fire. So I'll have to avoid that. Face again. To find... I have to say... Am I going to say I find that, or I have to say that? Don't combine them, Doomlink. Make a decision. Oh, is that... Yeah, it does work, because he is enraged. Ironically, I tried to go into a slap there. What I was about to say is that I keep finding that I go to do a greatsword charge, and then I come to a halt in the perfect position for some flora to perfectly cover my camera, and therefore prevent me from being able to see anything. It's really annoying. Well, you see, there isn't a second one. Tifa, this is the point. I intentionally posted a single quest with just one. So, what's my favorite weapon in Portable Third? Probably the Tessaiga. I just like, it's a very simple design, but I enjoy the fact that it's a small weapon when sheathed, and then when you unsheath it, it's got this really wide blade. It's a novel sort of design. Not many weapons are like that. And that was a very fast hunt. I suppose if he did manage to get away, it would have added at least an extra 60 seconds onto the fight. So yeah, very quick. Pretty cool weapon design there. The Zenogre Greatsword. It's one of the few weapon designs that I actually don't mind of Zenogre, even going towards 4th generation Monster Hunter. By the time you get to Generations Ultimate, I will speak for myself. When I'm playing Generations Ultimate, I do not want to be looking at Zenogre weapon designs. They are ugly. They're unpleasant to the eye, compared to weapon designs like Abyssal Lagiacruz for your best thunder weapon. But this design is really cool. It's like a pincer. Yes, Tifa, I do know that Blue Player is the host for dual quests. It's fairly logical. Blue Player is always the second person to join up on a quest that is posted. Red Player is the person who posted it, Blue Player is the second to join. And it would stand to reason that the person to host the second monster would be the second person to join up on the quest. I actually am not that familiar with the Thunderlord weapon designs. It's mainly because I don't hunt the deviant monsters very much in that game, so... Yeah, I'm not going to say that I dislike them. Generally unfamiliar. Okay. Gen Moran has been chosen. I might go hammer for that. I don't often hammer Gen Moran, so something a little different is in order, I would say. It will be the Elatrion hammer. Someone is going to see that I'm using Knockout King, and they will scream and cry and snivel and probably lose all of their faculties when they realize that I'm using Knockout King against a Gen Moran. Unfortunately, they are going to have to relax and deal with it. Because this is my hammer set, and that is what I'm going to use. I might actually have a look at the Thunderlord weapon designs, because I'm interested now. I'll get, yeah, I'll get my decks. How about that? So, documents. Monster Hunter Double Cross decks. Let's see what the weapon designs look like. Let's try the Thunderlord Greatsword. Oh, fuck. Thunderlord Gekirai. For some reason it's not. Oh, I see. That's why. Oh, that's very cool. I do like that it's actually a solid design there. It looks cooler, actually. Let's try the longsword. Did I kitty? No, I don't like the longsword. The longsword looks like shit. I'm not going to say it looks like shit. That is what I just said, but I will amend what I said to the following. It looks average. Yeah, no. It just looks like a hyper version, appearance-wise. Which is what you would expect, but it's not enough to make the designs interesting to me. How about the dual blades? The dual blades are okay. But admittedly, I do like the standard dual blade design as well. Geode hammer. No, that's the wrong one. Raiden hammer. Yeah, the hammer is definitely a lot cooler than the standard. The horn is... Actually, what is it? Oh, there you go, Raiden horn. That's cool as well. I'm not going to go through all of them. But, yeah, doesn't seem too bad. The longsword and the sword and shield, though, they can fuck off. They look ugly. Alright. So we've got K joining the room. I don't know if that means that the previous guy has been sniped, or if he's not coming back. I genuinely am not sure. One of the things that I really don't like is trying to chase people up if they don't turn up at all after a while, and I'm just not sure if they are actually coming back or not. How do I figure out who that was? We never had a list appear in the chat showing all the people in the hall. I vaguely remember the person's name, but not enough to actually say for sure. Well, it looks like we've got Ocean Kraken 9. I wonder if it would be Ocean Kraken 69 if he could fit it in. I think he's at the character limit. Why do people keep joining and then leaving? Presumably because they're changing weapons, but I feel like they're leaving faster than it would take for them to be able to check what quest is on the board. Well, whatever. At this stage, it's first come, first serve. Only because I don't want to keep these guys waiting for too long while I pick and choose who gets right of way. I can see the Kakalang is going heavy pierce for this hunt. Good choice. Looks like he's actually going to go crouch fight. Cool. This will be a quick hunt. I'm actually, at this stage, more inclined to go 3-man than 4-man. It'll be too fast with 4 people. Alright. Let's do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Departing. I would say that I gave the community at large enough time to get themselves organised and join. I don't want to wait forever. I've got a live stream to record, don't I? I will use the cannon. I'm not much of a ballista guy. I'm not much of a siege weaponry guy, but I do use the siege weaponry when there's literally nothing better to be doing. If it's a choice between either hitting the monster or using the siege weaponry, I will use the siege weaponry. But you see, if I flatly refused to use it, that would mean that I would be standing on the boat, literally contributing nothing. Quick, shoot it, shoot it! Well, I was very late shooting it, but you see, I believe you get an invulnerability period if you're in the process of shooting the cannon. So that's really what I was going for there. If the rock had been well aimed, well positioned, I would have definitely been hit there. Which sounds obvious and, quite honestly, unnecessary to be said, but my point is not one of it being inaccurate, it was that the timing of it was not at all in my favor. That's, not sure. Well, I suppose it's appropriate for Cackling to be using the cannon when Jen's quite far away, but at this stage he should be using his gun. I haven't played Try recently, if anyone's wondering. You wouldn't need to wonder. As far as my recordings are concerned, you'll be able to see, if you look back through my videos, how long ago it was when I last played Try. Something like a month and a half. But as far as playing it in my own time, I really haven't been. And I have to say, you recovered very quickly from... Oh, that was a gong, that's what that was. I don't know why I thought it was someone binding him. Absolutely beautiful hit stun there on that weak point. Look at that. As strange as it might seem to use a weapon that relies very much on KO and the opportunity that comes along with stunning a monster, the hammer is also an opportunity-based weapon type. It's the sort of weapon type that benefits a lot from a monster being in a stationary position. And this is one of those hunts where the monster is technically in a stationary position. You are standing on the back of the monster, and the target is not moving. So you can get these big golf swings out, and inevitably, you'll be dealing very high DPS. So Greatsword and Hammer are really your best choices for Blade Master against a monster like this. The effectiveness of gunning, specifically pierce gunning, obviously goes without saying as well. There's a lot of monster to pierce through. I'd best get off. I won't be greedy. Cackling is pinging, which is very friendly of him to be doing. Just being a helpful hunter. Glad that I got that last golf swing off on target. I was attempting to demonstrate that, but did a poor job of it. I don't know who's got the binder, but they would be well placed to use it. I will place a bomb though. Oh, okay. This is high rank, I might add. Remember when I said that if we departed with 4 people, this would be way too fast? It's already way too fast with 3 people, so there you are. We are genuinely at risk of killing him outside the carve zone if we don't let him move forward. It's probably a good thing. You guys have seen plenty of Gen Moran up until this point, so I don't really think I need to burden you all with a full-length hunt. So if we can actually just get it done nice and quickly, I think that will suffice. That will be enough of a Gen Moran showcasing. Look, I don't think any of us actually need Gemmaran calves, but I would prefer to wait to be able to carve him. That would be my preference because I am a hoarder of monster materials. It is what I do. It's part of the fun of playing the damn game to carve the monsters. So. These guys can't help themselves. If anything, aim for the damn tusks. Why don't you... There you go. Maybe that's what he's attempting to do. I just don't think he's doing a very good job of it. Alright. I reckon one more step forward and we'll go for it. We're still somewhat at risk of not being able to carve the mouth. Or the face, however you want to put it. Amachan is losing a lot of health. He lost almost 2/3 of his health in one little shaking of the tusks. I realize it's gunner defense, but geez, he must be really compromising his defense for his armor skills though. Just watched Kakalang take a fucking rock to the face. Come on, advance forward. Don't be shy. Hopefully he will be able to walk forward. I don't want him to get sent backwards from here. Very good. Alright. No more danger of getting him outside the carve zone. Oh, this will kill him. This will kill him. The question is, how quickly will it kill him? Golf swing? Oh wow, he survived it. Come on. How's he alive? That's incredible. That's... Oh, give it a rest. I wasn't even in the mouth. I'm shocked that that didn't actually kill him. Because that is very heavy damage what I just dealt to him there. Maybe he's not that close to death. Despite the fact that we're already at the final showdown. I'm sure he's close, but yeah. Evidently I overestimated the damage we had dealt. Yep. Well, missed my super pound there, but that's alright. Still a quick hunt. Well, I would say that that was nicely done. I don't think that there would be much that would challenge the three of us, unfortunately. Or maybe you could say it's fortunate. What it does, however, mean is that we will be ploughing through every single quest that we put up on the board. Which is fine. I'm not complaining. He holds me in his palm. Yes, I do know that you can carve his mouth, but there's never a really good reason to be doing that unless you're very low on Genmaran materials, or you're really desperate for something. I guess it's possible to get an Earth Dragon Stone, probably. Sorry, Earth Dragon Gem. I don't think I've ever carved an Earth Dragon Gem from the mouth when he's still alive, but yeah. The thing is, I personally believe that you're going to get more value out of the time that is taken out of the quest time by dealing heavy damage while he's in that state, versus getting some extra material. Maybe 3 carves worth. It's usually basic stuff, that's what I've experienced anyway. Alright. Next hunt. I've been pinged in bot commands, presumably for friendship points. There we go. That was probably the guy that I was playing with before. Alright. Mud Ice Melody, Baroth and Jade Baroth. That's actually a fun quest. I would say that, well, yeah, fire. Definitely fire. I don't want to go Gunlance, though. For some reason, I just felt like going Gunlance, and then I actually thought about the monsters that we were fighting, or that we are about to fight, and I realized that that's a terrible idea. I don't really feel like going Sword and Shield either, though. So what am I to do? Hunting Horn? Strange choice, but why not? I suppose it's a strange choice, but it is also a fun choice. Brandonian. This is not a hunting horn that I often use. Not for any specific reason. I suppose it's more to do with the fact that I don't often use hunting horn. What is this helmet that I'm wearing? Oh, it's not that it's the okay, so strangely those two protrusions coming out the hunting horn I actually thought were part of some kind of wide-brimmed hat that was sitting on top of a mask with horns, which to me was almost incomprehensible. I didn't quite know what I was looking at, but now I understand what I was looking at. Okay, I'm assuming it will be in this list. Where are you? No, not any of that. Okay, must be here. Baroth and Jade Baroth. Maybe it's a drink quest. Is it a drink quest? Or hot spring quest? Must be. Alright, let's check that. Come on. I am at a loss. What the hell is it? What does it say? Oh, it's a DLC quest. Very well. I wasn't expecting that, actually. Seems like a fairly standard sort of matchup. Where is it? I've gone past it, clearly. Am I blind or what? Sometimes in Portable Third, and it is only in this game, I struggle terribly to find whatever quest is selected for me. Doesn't happen all the time, but if it does happen, it's usually in Portable Third. It's really only Portable Third where I'm just left totally confused. Where is it? DLC 7-star. What the fuck is going on? Do any of you have it? Seriously. I don't know why I can't find it. It makes no sense. I know what Baroths look like, so where are they? Unless it's a Hunsterverse DLC? Is it Hunsterverse DLC? That shit shouldn't even be in the rotation. Alright, let's just do Jade Baroth, fuck it. Or, do you know what we can do? We can do something that's similar. Let's just do something similar, shall we? This'll do. I'm assuming everyone's brought fire weapons anyway. And these are both fast-moving monsters, so... Yeah, I realise it's different, but I couldn't find the damn quest, so you're going to have to settle for this. Oh, I will actually have to remember the damn songs here. Well, I suppose I don't have to, I can just refer to this. So this is actually an elemental attack boost hunting horn, so is anyone going to benefit from this? Amachan will benefit, Kakalang will not benefit, and Lapis will not benefit. So it's literally just Amachan who's going to benefit from my hunting horn song. Is there anything else helpful? No. No, just that. Well, that's shit. I suppose I also benefit from it. Excellent. There's someone screaming in my apartment. A woman. Maybe it's a domestic incident. Well, hopefully not. We drank that at the exact same time. Alright, Kakalang is in combat, so we will join him first. So yeah, really, I'm not going to be contributing as much with my hunting horn as I might like to. But that is the way it's going to be. I'm at peace with that fact. Always happy to see the Bullfango get killed, but I'm still not impressed that I got hit there. Now, come to think of it, I was so distracted by the fact that Lapis was using the Kelby bow that I failed to realize at the time, and it was only through my mind's eye remembering what I had seen that I was able to realize what precisely I was looking at. But it turned out that, oh god, there's Armachan hosting the second monster. That is what that fucking looks like. I didn't mean to play that song. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lapis is using a set that has not even one activated skill. I'm not talking an armor set with no skills. I'm talking an armor set with something like 4 skills and all of them are grayed out. Like, what the fuck is going on? I need to check that again when I get back. That was quite incredible. I've done this in the wrong order. I have done this in the most wrong order possible. No, I fucked it up again. What is it? Fucking hell. Oh, it really is just that. Okay. Do you know what? This is perfect. I'm actually entirely content to just stand back and play my music. Except that I keep playing the wrong notes. Let's try that again. I keep playing the wrong notes, you see. But it doesn't really matter, because if I'm standing back just randomly playing music, whether it helps or not, it doesn't have any difference. It has no impact on my effect in the hunt, because this Jade Baroth is everywhere and nowhere because of how terrible Amachan's connection is to me. I think Tifa actually predicted this terrible connection. Oh, there you go, there's a paralysis. Can't ignore that. The connection might be terrible, but a paralysis on Amachan's screen is a paralysis on my screen. At least one would hope. So that should mean that the monster is not going anywhere. Oh my god. Dealing with a Barioth at the same time is less than enjoyable. There you go, knockdown. I'm not going to be attempting to get a KO or anything like that. Could you get away from me? Why don't I have the ability to resist roars? What's wrong with me? Fuck off. So my... Oh yay, 54 versus what? I'm just looking at my stat difference. 54, I can't even see what it originally was. Whatever. So it's currently at 54, whatever that means. I don't know how much it's gone up by. I'm actually quite... I normally wouldn't be this way, but I'm actually content to just stay here fighting the Barioth, because if I were to pursue the Barioth, that would actually mean that I would be forcing myself to continue that terrible hunt with the teleporting monster. Alright, should I top up the... Yeah, I should. For Amachan's sake. Top up the old elemental attack boost, which presumably has a bonus. It does. Should be getting our paralysis soon. We've already got a limp, so I suppose someone was on target. Specifically aiming for the Barrioth the entire time. Unless we're actually that good. It's fucking dead. So that presumably means the Barrioth is not too far away. What have we got? Mega potions? No? Actual cards. There's no shame in carving for fun. These guys, they turn their noses up at a chance to carve because they don't need the carbs. I don't need the carbs. Well, I enjoy carving, so there you go. I don't even know where the monster's gone. Looks like he's gone all the way up to the Devil Joe's sleeping area, which is what I consider that place to be. Good for anyone who needs Dragonbone relics. Which I don't need, but I will actually go and gather for them, because why not? I'd say we were very successful in that hunt. We just completely decimated both monsters. I thought it was going to be a case where we would all be aiming for one of them in particular, and then the other one would just be beating us about the head, figuratively, the whole time. But no, it looks like we were beating those monsters about the head the entire time, and it was a miracle that both of them didn't die together in the same area, quite frankly. Alright, where's the gathering spot? I can never find it. I'm so used to the try-gathering point that I just never know where to fucking go. Is it, like, here? No. Where is it? There it is. It's just so wrong to be gathering them here. I've always been used to the try-gathering zone. You see, it stayed this way in 3 Ultimate as well. But despite all that, I've always been used to the try spot. But no, don't carve the fucking bat. Well, it does start with BA. Barrioth, Barroth, Baggy. That's confusing. Can't blame me for getting that wrong. At least briefly. If I continue to say that without realizing it, that would be quite silly. I am actually pressing the A button and am not getting any response out of my character, so... Looks like I lost my carving chance. Yeah, there we are. Well, small turnout today for the live stream, which is a shame, but it's alright. Better than nothing. Anything is better than nothing. And I do always have the VOD audience. Can't forget that. It is they whom I present to. Right. Our next hunt is... no, actually. I will ask either Kakalang or Amachan to reroll. I'll just ask Kakalang. That's a lovely picture of Zirin, the portable third mod. Or deputy, whatever you want to call him. Sandwiched in between 2 Nibblesnuff. Okay. Yes, that is one continuous sentence. Not 2 separate sentences. That's the way I read it anyway. Because I think that's what they're going for. Yeah, Lance, why not? Ice Lance, yeah. Unless there's something else I'd rather use. Maybe Toxic Javelin? Yeah, let's use Toxic Javelin, that sounds like real good fun. I don't often pull this out. It is fully upgraded, right? Yeah, it is. 205 looks low, but I think it's got high poison. Yeah, well, 29's not that high, but I suppose 205 attack is not that low, so... It is a weapon of middling effectiveness, I'd say. Not incredible, but not bad either. Alright, double nibble snuff. Presumably in this quest list, there it is. Sandwiched in between. Lapis is going to join as the second hunter this time, thank fucking god. We'll see how his host looks. I may actually not be thankful when I actually see the host, but I am thankful for the chance for it not to actually be Ama-chan. Let's hope that Lapis did actually manage to join before Ama-chan, because I didn't end up seeing. I suppose we'll find out. Yeah, I will have to really do some Monster Hunter try. Next time. Definitely next time. Well, I suppose I shouldn't say definitely next time. It is dependent upon the community and how easy it is for me to actually find a group to play with. That's what will ultimately decide whether or not I record it next. But I will keep try in mind and try to play it next time. Ama-chan is player fucking 2. Seriously, can he just be barred from joining as the second person? For God's sake. Whatever. You never know, maybe that was a small hiccup that we saw before. It wasn't an entire hunt of miserably poor connection, I will admit that. So maybe it was just a small hiccup in that moment. That's my wishful thinking. Hopefully I'm right. I'm actually not sure if poison's any good, but let's hope that it is. I do love the design of this lance. I love the shield, I love the little crescent moon at the base of the lance. It's very cool. Yeah, I knew I was not in a good position there. Oh, for fuck's sake. Lapis is doing an excellent job of hitting me. Probably also doing a reasonable job at hitting the monster, but definitely doing very well at hitting me. We have our poison. Barrel bomb. Oh, Kakalang had the same idea. And I can see that a few people are getting ready to fish him out, so I will let them do that. Is Ama-chan doing it? Yeah, Ama-chan is doing it. I don't think that was too late. Should be able to do it. Oh, it was just too late. That's unfortunate. I saw both Kakalang and Lapis standing close to the monster with their weapons sheathed, which to me meant that they were gearing up to fish him out. Turned out that neither Kakalang nor Lapis actually went for it, so Ama-chan went for it, but sadly, just too late. We should have a designated fisherman. But that's probably a little bit too much strategy to be, or too much strategizing to actually be worth it against this monster. That is not a fishing opportunity, I don't think. Oh no, but it is. Okay. Very good. That shouldn't be too late at all. Looks like we had two people fishing in that moment. And one of them's dead. Keeping in mind that I'm happy to stay at green sharpness because I only have a small amount of blue sharpness on this weapon, so it would be really asinine to sharpen after every, I don't know, 7 thrusts with my lance. It's one at a time? Why? Why is it one at a time? That makes no sense. Oh no, I'm misreading this. This way. Why am I the only person with psycho serums? I misinterpreted that for some reason. I thought it was in the area I was currently in, which was confusing. Alright, that's Nibble Snuff over there. Or is that's him? There we are. Weirdly, that looks more like him. I don't know why. I think it's because that's a larger mound. It's more convincing. Interestingly, it would have been faster for them to get to this area by going through the area they were previously in, but I suppose when I signaled to my position as I was signaling to the position I was in at that time. There we go, that's how we're going to formulate that sentence. They probably thought that I meant that he was in that area, but no. I was merely directing them to where I was going. I can't exactly tell them which area to go to, so a signal is really the best that I can offer. There we go, there's my poison. I do feel bad for this monster, he's not going to last very long at all. I shouldn't feel bad. There is a lot of hatred for this monster that I don't understand. When Portable Third came out, look, I'm not going to say that everyone loved this monster, but he wasn't hated like he is now. Everyone in the Portable Third community hates this monster, and I just don't get it. There's nothing about him that's difficult, and he's an interesting enough design. So, what about him fuels a hatred that seems to have just gone on and on and on for years? Because from the moment I joined Hunsterverse, it was quite clear that there was heavy negative sentiment towards Nibble Snuff, but whatever. I would get it if he were particularly annoying, but he's not. I'd get it if he were particularly difficult, but he's not. So, maybe people do think he's really annoying. I'm not sure what about him is annoying, though. Usually being annoying and being difficult go hand in hand, but to me he's neither, so why do people dislike him so much? It's a mystery, really. I think I tried to get someone to articulate what it was about Nibble Snuff that they hated so much, and I think it was not too bad. I just don't remember what it was. I mustn't have thought that it was that valid. Otherwise I would have remembered what he said. Yeah, that's actually quite a funny shot. It looks like he's just tripped over while poisoned, while being shot in the dick. To put it, to summarize it, I would say that Nibble Snuff is in a compromising position. And he was well and truly compromised in that moment. Poor sandfish. It would appear that the Portable Third players are a little bit more inclined, or I suppose focused, on giving each other HVFL. King of the Sky, Rathalos. Alright. A dragon weapon. Which will be, I don't know. Maybe something Deviljho related. What are my Deviljho weapons? I must have some. Yeah, there you go. Deviljho longsword will do. Always happy to use that weapon. This is obviously before it was made an Awaken weapon. Although it was Awaken in Tri, so yeah. Because this game doesn't have Awaken, it's just innately Dragon. That was one of my false memories from not having played Tri in a long time. I thought that the Reaver Cruelty, or Calamity I think it's called, fully upgraded. Is that right? Yeah, Calamity. I was under the misapprehension that the longsword had innate dragon element in Tri and Portable Third, and then it became Awaken in 3 Ultimate. That is not true. It was Awaken, then not, and then Awaken again. The only reason being, or the only reason for no Awaken in this game obviously being that there is no possibility of that happening, because there's no Awaken skill. Weirdly, I don't even remember having the Elatrion longsword in this game. I'm sure I do. But I must never use it, ever. Maybe I never did forge it in the end. I don't use the Elatrion weapons as much here. You never know, I may have actually forged it and I just never use it. I'll have to check, because, well, I imagine that I'll forget. But, yeah. I almost never use that weapon in this game for one reason or another. Let's get out of here. Do some standard Rathalos hunting. Nothing too outrageous. Feels strange to be in the deserted island at this resolution. It just feels wrong after playing so much Tri. Not that I've played it very recently, it's just I'm pretty sure the last time I looked at the deserted island was while I was playing Tri, and it has to be said that this looks like absolute garbled garbage. So but of course, the point is not the graphics, it's the enjoyment of playing the game. I suppose it's really just that side-by-side contradistinction. I'll let you do whatever you're doing, and then I'll get in and attack, and then miss completely. Thank you for hitting me. We both did a very good job of not hitting the monster in that moment. Anyone got flash bombs? Well, that was just barely able to knock him. Oh, I see. It was a paralysis. Doesn't make it any less impressive, really. It was just before he managed to reach the ground that he was knocked out of the air. Yeah, this is not going to be a long hunt. We'll put it that way. That should sufficiently describe the way this hunt is going to play out. Of course, Longsword encourages very aggressive play, because you are rewarded by being aggressive. You are able to get a lot more damage out the more aggressive you are, and more damage often means more flinching. So, if the moss is going to flinch anyway, why worry about its attacks? Well, you should still worry about its attacks, but you don't have to worry quite as much. If you can just be, I guess, ultra aggressive and then flinch him out of everything he does that's going to hurt you. Case in point, well, not that he was aiming down the barrel at me at that moment, but... Although I did start at white. G-rank habit. Sharpening when I reach green. Sorry, sharpening when I reach blue. The former, however, is what I want to be doing in this game. Here we go. Some head damage here. And I missed my fucking yellow. Because the tail got cut. Should be able to advance close enough to him to avoid the tail. I feel like in Portable Third, and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like in Portable Third I have more control over the direction of my final Spirit Slash. It feels like I can turn myself in a more specific... Who the fuck? Okay, if it was Armachan who benefited from the dunging of the Rathalos there, I understand. He is within an inch of death. But seriously, that dung bomb is going to be the difference between us one-zoning him and not. So, that's annoying. Or at least there's a risk of that. And he's leaving. Seriously. If it was to save someone's life, I understand. But if it wasn't, then that's some garbage. Looks like he is heading to 5, but just in case I will Psychoserum him. I'm not fucking taking the chance. Looks like Azarus is in the area. We may as well kill him as well. I'm sure that'll be easy. We'll just gang up on him at the end of this. We should be able to kill Rathalos in this zone. I'd be very disappointed if we didn't manage that. May I also... Oh, it's a warning. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you're wondering how I knew it was, if a quest has come to an end and you can't move your camera, that means there's a warning incoming. It's a weird little indication, but... And it's something that only the player can see. If you're watching me play, it's not obvious. But yeah. For anyone who wonders how I could have anticipated it, that's pretty much how. Now, it will be a different monster to that of Azarus. But yeah. It doesn't matter what the monster's going to be. It doesn't matter what kind of elemental weakness it's going to have. We are going to shit on whatever comes. My guess is it's going to be Rathian. So if it's Rathian, good luck to her, seriously. We are obviously fully equipped to shit on a dragon-weak monster. And by extension, any monster that is going to invade in this locale. So yeah, I'm sticking around. But if so much as one person decides to return to the village, I'm going to follow them because that would just be awkward. Alright. Who is it? Was that Deviljho? I think that was Deviljho. Okay. Excellent. Where has he started? Here he is! Very good. Let's do it. What a fucking hunt. Now this right here is the Portable Third experience. This is a unique hunting experience. It only exists in Portable Third. You can technically say, yes, you do get monster invasions in other games, but we've just experienced a monster invasion, Azarus, and we killed both him and the main monster, and here we are getting literally the next monster that randomly spawned, by the way. It's not always going to be a Deviljho, it will sometimes be a Deviljho if it's a high rank quest. But yeah, it's just excellent because we are perfectly placed to be able to deal with the Deviljho because we're elementally set up for Rathalos. It's really good. I don't generally use Longsword against Deviljho, but do you know what? It makes it more fun. I might actually drop down a trap. I know I don't often use traps, but hey. I think this is an appropriate occasion. Perfectly placed. Poor bastard. I'm going to get near a leg and then spirit combo. That was slower than I was anticipating. Not slower, sorry. Less effective. That's the phrase I'm looking for. That's a shame. We got a paralysis out of a knockdown. And it was so soon after the knockdown began that he couldn't even complete his knockdown animation. Now obviously I understand that his legs are not very weak, but they are a consistent target, something that I can consistently hit. With my longsword. Very nicely done. I don't think this is going to last much longer, interestingly enough. Presumably the warning monster is hosted by Red Hunter, the original host. Because the warning monster spawns after the original monster despawns. Yeah. My evasion really is not up to snuff. Haven't used many potions in this hunt. Alright. Very tempted to get a... Yep, you know what, I'm going to do it. I am at risk of not actually being able to get it out without being flinched by someone. Fortunately not, they are far away from me. But yeah, this is the moment where we want to get him into a pitfall. Because... And that is why I started with a shock trap. I wanted to keep my pitfall for when he was actually exhausted. That's the way you want to play it. And he's fucking dead. Good night. Excellently done. It's satisfying to be able to get a warning hunt on camera, because that may be either the only one I've managed to get on camera, or perhaps the second or third. First one in a very long time, at least. It doesn't happen often. I find that it's always a situation where something with a totally different elemental weakness turns up to what we all organized to hunt, or to how we are prepared. That's a terrible way to formulate that sentence. The elemental weakness of the monster that turns up in the warning is at odds with what we have equipped. In most cases. Whereas this was just perfect. And as I guessed, if it wasn't Deviljho, it probably would have been Rathian, which would make it also an appropriate matchup for us. Very good. Don't worry, Deviljho. In death, I will put myself between your, well, teeth. Alright. It is very hot, by the way. It's a wonder that my beer is able to stay cold. Really. No doubt not as cold as when I first got it out of the fridge, but... Oh, did I... Surely I had the presence of mind to get my other beer and put it in the fridge and not keep it in the freezer, because I did technically put them in the freezer for a short time. It's probably best that I double check that. I don't want to keep it in the freezer and then leave it there. They are glass bottles, so I'll be back momentarily. I'm gonna make sure. Yes, I was smart enough not to keep it in the freezer. Good for me. I keep getting bot command pings. It's fucking annoying, but I understand that it's coming from, you know, the right place. The person's just trying not to clutter the main chat, or the portable third chat, but seriously. It means that I have to click another channel to get rid of the damn ping notification. Maybe I can, like, let's say for example, I can right-click the channel and then clear the ping. Well, that still requires 2 clicks, right? So a click and a scroll versus 2 clicks, it's about the same amount of time. Well, I guess you'd have to click back to portable third, so technically it would be faster to right-click and then dismiss the notification, but seriously, it's annoying. I get the reason behind it, but it's still annoying. So the next quest is going to be Uragan and Steel Uragan. We've actually had some pretty good quests rolled so far. We're getting a nice taste for all of the different monsters. I'm going to bring the chariot gun. Dragon damage. This is my gun lance set that actually has decent sharpness skills, right? I think my original gun lance set for this game did not have many sharpness skills. Yes, very good. This is what I want. So it has sharpness +1, which suffices. You know, the worst case scenario is when I don't have any sharpening or sharpness skills whatsoever. It needs to have a minimum of 1, ideally 2. 3 is great, but usually that would come at the cost of, you know, shell damage skills. Where are our Uragan friends? Is it happening again? What the fuck is it? It is... It's 7-star. Which is this, presumably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No, that's 8-star, what the fuck? Okay. There we go. Pyroclastic track. Which obviously is in reference to the fact that we are fighting in the volcano. Speaking of volcanoes, Iceland is not doing very well at the moment. I think volcanic activity is... It's always been a constant threat over there, but you see, most recently, a particular village had to evacuate, with the possibility of there being volcanic instability near their village for years to come. Years! That's just... I mean, yeah, don't fucking build your village in front of a volcano, but still, for the people who live there, what are they supposed to do? They, in my honest opinion, their only option is to get the hell out of there. They have to find a way to just move. Because it's not livable to have a constant threat of a volcanic eruption. You're going to have to constantly abandon your home and then not be able to return, and it's going to be like that on and off, on a semi-regular basis for years. And that's not any way to live. Home or not. But anyway, I'm sure they've got their own perspectives on it. Are we going to depart with 3, or do we have a 4th person? Like I said, I'm not very good at keeping track of that. Okay. What do you think? Like, what do you think? In fact, I know what he thinks. He thinks the obvious, and the answer is yes. So that was, yeah, good chat. Good chat. I'll try to be even more explicit next time. Even more explicit than that. What is going on? Oh, I see. That's not actually a person who can issue warnings. I was about to say, that's not a warning. I was going to say, departing in 2 minutes. Let's take a moment to take a drink and take a breather. Zurin is asking for my Twitch. Doomlink live. I'm not going to send a link because it's bordering upon self-advertisement, which I don't like. It's part of the reason why I'm not very successful. But yeah, I like to achieve things on my own merits, I suppose. And advertisement just doesn't. I don't know. Yes, advertisement can be important, and you have to put yourself out there to be successful sometimes, but in the context of Twitch streaming, I would not advertise, you know, if that makes sense. Well, when Kushala said that he was low rank, I thought that he was much closer to early game than this, but it seems that he's end game low rank. If that is not an oxymoronic phrase. Looks like we've got Hester joining the room. What's his hunter rank? Well, we'll just go player info. Despot's Phlogiston. That's my best attempt at pronouncing that word, because I've never seen that word outside of Mondstander. Which therefore means I've never heard it pronounced either. Hey Zurin. Look, if this guy chooses to depart with that gun lance, which I don't expect him to do, he still wouldn't be making a terrible decision, because as I explained at the beginning of this livestream, you can use Zinogre weapons and still be perfectly effective, even if thunder is not actually the weakness of the monster you're fighting. So, do I agree with it? No, because it's boring. I understand that you can be just as, if not more effective, using a Zinogre weapon against anything, as you would be if you used a specific weapon with the correct element in conjunction with the monster's weakness, but where's the fun in that? That's alright. On top of that, he's using the Silver Rathalos set, so I'm not really expecting him to use tailored loadouts for specific hunts. Looks like he just uses what works, and what is effective, generally speaking. Which is fine, whatever he wants. That's just not how I play the game. It's a fucking cat party over here. Fuck off. I understand that it's a mega pickaxe and I can just buy more, but... Really? Alright, I got the correct one. Oh, I had best consume a cool drink. And 3 people have been farted upon. Cackling realised what was coming and he got the hell out of the way. So Amachan should actually be hosting this one, should be okay. I haven't seen terrible connection since that first moment when I realised that we were fighting something that Amachan was hosting. and I felt dread flowing through me. Oh, that fucking face. You can't underestimate the role that the face actually plays in that shoulder charge maneuver. It really widens his hitbox. That was, interestingly enough, a well-placed flash bomb. I wasn't entirely sure. I was too busy worrying about the fact that I could barely see what I was doing. But it looks like it was effective. Probably shouldn't have gone for the reload, because if he chose to roll in that moment, I would have been hit. I was almost farted on, but I'm okay apparently. I have resisted the stench. And no, I'm not using just a random adjective there, that is literally what it's called. I must have gone up, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to prevent the stench. Weirdly enough, I never hear people use the word stench to refer to that. They just use some other term. But it is officially called stench. I wonder if that actually managed to reach him. Probably not. One can only hope. Yeah, well, I walked into that. I'm not going to blame him for that. I was hoping I'd be able to get by it, but obviously I was unsuccessful in that endeavour. Oh, we have been seen by another one. May as well paintball him. Good day. I will try to aim for the face on the steel gun, because that is now a weak point. Seems that there's just two of us pursuing this one, which is really all that's necessary. I'm fine with that. Oh. Like I said, aim for the face while it's weak. Bit out of range though. I really can't quite countenance the fact that flash bombs are as bright as they are in this game. It's fucking annoying, and I would rather not have to endure it at all. Imagine if you're playing in the dark and you get flash bombed in this game. What it is that it's not... It's handled a little differently. You don't get that negative visual effect, and you don't get partial whiteness. You get full, complete white screen. That's what you get in this game, and it's terrible. I mean, maybe you get the negative effect as well, but I suppose the big difference is that you get a full white screen. It's not just... I don't know how they usually do it. However they do it in this game, it's actually blinding and uncomfortable. Bordering upon epilepsy warning. Well, I suppose it could be if multiple people throw flash bombs, but one on its own shouldn't be capable. It does have the negative effect now that I'm watching more closely. I don't know if there's another way to refer to that, by the way. But it doesn't matter. If you don't know what I mean when I say negative effect, then I don't know what to tell you. Because I don't know how else to describe it. fuck's sake. God forbid I try to have an actual combo with my weapon while I'm standing next to a longsword user. Armachan did immediately reposition himself though once he realised that he was flinching me, so I do appreciate that. I should blame the weapon type, not the player. We've already got a limp on the standard one. Well, geez. I didn't get to enjoy you very much, Mr. Standard Uragan. Typically, let's actually speak correct English. I do typically use water weapons against these monsters, you know, the Uragans, whether it's standard or steel, but this time around I'm using something a little different. Dragon is still a perfectly reasonable elemental choice, and it so happens that your dragon weapons are typically stronger than water weapons anyway, so for that reason dragon often ends up being the better choice. But I do believe, having said that water is the primary weakness. I sacrificed health for that wyvern tier. Was it worth it? Not especially, because the monster's already dead. Having said that though, if the quest is over, who cares? As long as I'm dead, it doesn't really matter how much damage I take. As long as I'm not dead, sorry. I think I said as long as I'm dead, that's not what I meant. I meant rather the opposite. I am carrying pickaxes in this game, quite rightly, because this is one of those games where you really need to engage with mining to get talismans, so yeah, let's try to make use of them. Oh, hold on, that's right, the mining zones are cracks in this game. Silly me. Almost forgot. It's been a while. I'm not sure why they chose to do that. What made them take a Monster Tri-Locale and then get rid of the mining nodes and replace them with cracks in the wall? Did they think it would be confusing to people who hadn't played Tri but had played the other second-gen games? What's confusing about a mining node? I don't think it would be that demanding for them to carry the nodes over from Tri, so to me that's really strange and makes no sense. It takes more effort to then draw that into the locale, right? Because it's not there originally, you're having to draw that in. So just port the fucking nodes over. Maybe there was a reason for it, but yeah. Seems like more work for no real reason at all. Oh, that's nice. Really, I mean, this kind of interaction is so fiercely intellectual that, quite frankly, I can't contribute. Alright. Tigrex and Sand Marioth. The common weakness, well, I don't know if there is a common weakness. Should I check? I don't really want to bother. No, I won't bother. Let's just use poison. What's a fun poison weapon? Maybe poison sword and shield. How about that? Yeah, let's go this. No, actually, we'll go Shaman's Bottle. Thank you, Doomlink. I was imitating my own pathetic attempt at enunciation, though. Second time in one recording that I'm using a Giganox. My friend, you and your puke green hood do not impress me. I have no desire to speak with you, so if you could stop talking to me, that would be excellent. Alright. Is it HR5 or HR6? We're about to find out. Looks like it'll be HR6. Where is it? I bet it's fucking DLC, isn't it? I'd guarantee it. I need to check this every time. It is a drink quest. Just to make it as confusing as possible. There we are. So it better not be low rank, it shouldn't be. If it's Sand Barrioth, it should not be. Yeah, HR6 enough for it. Just thought I'd make sure. Pinged in bot commands again. Honestly. How many more hunts shall I do? We are 1 hour and 37 minutes in. I'd say 2 more hunts. That should suffice. Oh, it looks like whoever that is, I guess Amachan, yeah. So Amachan is finishing up. That means I will try to advertise a space. Current hunt is Tigrex plus S Barry. Two slots. Well, what? The other guy's gone. May end up being 1 more hunt, depending on how long it takes for us to get another room together. As tempting as it is to get another beer, I'm actually going to save it for watching anime with my friend after I have finished my recording. It's mainly tempting because it's about as hot as it was when I started recording this live stream, but my beer is getting ever so slightly warmer. It's not yet warm, not actual warm beer, but it's, you know, not as cold. So it's doing less to refresh me. Ugh. We'll see if we get anyone actually wanting to play. If we are seemingly unsuccessful, then I'll just take it and depart with Kakalang. I'm sure we could do a decent enough job on our own. Do you want to play Zurin? Come on. Let's go. I mean, admittedly, it's probably just going to be the one last hunt, but we'll see how we go. You never know, I might be in the mood to do 2. I mean, you don't have to play, but I'd rather hunt with 3 people than 2. 2 is not, it's not like it's going to be difficult to hunt with 2 people. I just want it to be reasonably quick. I don't want a long, slow hunt. I don't think we've got any takers, and quite frankly, I would rather depart with Kakalang now, as 2, than run the risk of him leaving. Would you mind if I joined with a low rank set? Yes, I would, because it's HR6 requirement. Alright. Let's just go. Oh, we managed to get 4 PM, who is another one of the regulars. The more recent Portable Third regulars. I would put Kakalang and 4 PM in the same category. Regular Portable Third hunters, but have only been regulars for the last 6 to 8 months. Which is not a dismissive assessment of the two of them. It's just to say that Hunsterverse is starting to become a bit of a... Well, it's got a history, I suppose. It's been around for a few years now. And this is 4 PM's greeting. Which is actually off-putting. Mildly amusing, but off-putting. And looks like we've got another person. Alvian. I don't know if that's an alternative spelling or reinterpretation of Albion, or if it's just a person named Al, and their surname is Vian. I don't know. Sometimes it's not actually productive to try and interpret people's names. Sometimes it's literally just a name, and there's no meaning behind it whatsoever. Like Lord Zor, there's no meaning behind that name, it's just a name. Alvian is HR6, he is using a pretty fun Thunder Rapid light bowgun set. Very cute. I just use like a general elemental light bowgun set, which makes use of Amatsu Magatsuchi's light bowgun. But you see, this is one of those games where it's not a bad idea at all to have different loadouts for elemental light bowgun, particularly that one. I know that one's very good for rapid firing lightning shots, or thunder shots, whatever you want to say. But the reason why is because there's so many armor set slots in this game that you may as well do something like that. Because at the moment I have a surplus of slots, so really I would be well placed to do that myself. Unfortunately, Ugo, who is another regular in Portable Third, expressed an interest in joining, but he did so after we already had a group of 4, so that's unfortunate for him. You are, of course, welcome to continue the hunts after I leave, at which point Ugo will be able to join because I won't be here. There will be a free slot. So don't fret. So what is it? It's Tigrex is in a very different location. Tigrex is actually in the Baroth area. Area 3, I think it is. Whatever the number is. If I'm completely wrong, then ignore the number and focus on what I originally described it as. The Baroth area. I don't want people to say, Baroth doesn't start in Area 3. No, like, I probably just got the area number wrong. Shut up. I just imagine someone would interpret it that way. Oh god, did you see how Barioth slid when he came to a halt there? That's not a good start. Oh my god, I can't fucking see anything when people throw flash bombs. Look, as long as it results in a successful flashing, I don't mind that much. It's a mild discomfort, which obviously translates to being a fucking discomfort. But, you know, I'm willing to be mildly discomforted at least twice in a hunt, as long as on each occasion it results in a successful flashing of the monster. You're going to start... Like, I will become profoundly perturbed if I keep getting blinded by flash bombs and the monster's not even suffering any sort of disadvantage as a result. Tripping on my words because I am feeling very inarticulate today. It's just a feeling that I have. What? How? Who's dealing this much damage? Whom among our 4 hunters is dealing this much damage? Who is it? There has to be one specific person who's just dealing insane damage here, and it's definitely not me. I don't even think I managed to get a poison out there. Who is it? What the fuck? I get that there's 4 of us, but that was... that is unless the passage of time is naught but an illusion to me at the moment. I mean, maybe it's been... no, it hasn't been 5 minutes, but still, like, that was really fast. Unreasonably fast. What the fuck? Anyway. I'll take it for what it is and just assume that we're very good at the game. Well, fucking hell. I get that he's got reduced health because he's one of 2 monsters, but that still felt unnaturally fast. Although, yeah, I guess it is 3 gunners. Yeah, I suppose that's natural. No, well, Cackling's using bow. Bow isn't as strong as a bow gun, so I don't know. I guess 4 PM's just dealing ridiculous damage with his Diablo's heavy bow gun. Let's see if Tigrex is still in his area. That is apparently the Baroth area, according to me. Is he... no, he's not in his Baroth area anymore. Here stands Tigrex, being flash bombed. I'll wait for him to roar and then hit him in the face a little bit. But only a little bit, because otherwise he's going to run into me. It was really refreshing to be able to fight Tigrex after not being able to fight him in Monster Hunter Tri, because the situation with Tigrex was that he was extremely difficult for me to fight in Freedom Unite, and I felt that by the time I got really good at Monster Hunter, I was spending most of my time playing Monster Hunter Tri, and so I missed out on being able to try my hand, try my new skills out on a monster that used to be a real struggle for me to successfully hunt. And this was the game where I was really able to do that. Now, it's not quite the same because it is Portable Third. Portable Third's a very, very easy Monster Hunter game, compared to both Tri and Freedom Unite, but still, it was an opportunity to be able to fight this guy again while I was a much more comfortable and confident hunter. And yeah, it was very satisfying. I was very happy to see Tigrex again in this game. It just felt like there was a hole, a Tigrex-shaped hole in the series when he didn't appear in Tri. For me, Barioth was more of a Naga-Kuga monster than a Tigrex monster, and they are distinct from one another, Tigrex and Naga-Kuga. A reinterpretation of Naga-Kuga is not going to fill the void that's left behind by this monster. Tigrex is definitely one of those monsters that I feel needs to be in every Monster Hunter game. That's my genuine opinion. I think you have to be careful. I think you have to really severely limit the number of monsters that return in every single iteration. That's my personal opinion, because I've been vocal about it in the past, that I don't like monsters constantly returning in this series, but I do accept that some should. You know, this might be a controversial opinion, but I don't think Rajang's one of those monsters. I don't think Rajang should be returning in every game, but I think Tigrex is enough of a staple where it would be both appropriate and beneficial. Because, you know, Rajang, I think it would be better to have him in some games, certain games, and perhaps to just retire him completely. I'd be happy with that. You know, let him exist in the older games, and let that be a rite of passage for people in the older games. We're past that point now where we can have that opportunity. He's been in the 5th gen games, whatever. But yeah, I think Rajang would have been better if he was just left in 4th gen in the end. But Tigrex, I feel, is up there with staples like Rathalos and Rathian and, yeah, Diablos. They're monsters that just should always be there. I would probably limit it to those 4. Rathalos, Rathian, in addition with their subspecies, I suppose. And then obviously have new subspecies. Why keep bringing back the same subspecies? That was a pathetic slip of the tongue. Why keep having the same subspecies every time? Why not just come out with new ones? Come on. I get that it starts to get a bit silly after a while, but make it interesting. Make the subspecies like the Deviant monsters. Don't just change the fucking colour and then slightly update the moveset. By the time you get into 4th and 5th and 6th gen, like, just make something really different. And create a story behind the variant. Make it fun. But, yeah. That's the way I look at it. I don't accept the premise that, or the notion, that traditionalists would prefer to have those monsters remain as standard Rathalos, Azure Rathalos, and Silver Rathalos, because traditionalists, quite frankly, if they're actually traditionalists, will play the old games and shut the fuck up. That's the beginning and the end of it. So yeah, I just don't see any value in bringing these monsters back in every fucking game. Because what it does is it devalues the older games. Not completely, because those games will always be worth returning to, but it serves to devalue them in a sense. When you just keep bringing the same monsters back, it's almost like you're seeing the same shit every time. I get the appeal, because it's a familiar monster and it will feel slightly different because it'll be a new engine, different environment, whatever else, but seriously, let Capcom make new shit. If the new shit sucks, pan them for it. Smack them down. But, you know, don't let them be lazy with their monster designs by just recycling shit. Resist temptation. Go back and play the older games if you want to fight the older monsters, seriously. Anyway, I think that's probably going to conclude the live stream. No, it's not. We're not at 2 hours yet. I'll do one more. It's not concluding the damn live stream. Not at 1 hour and 53 minutes. Oh, God. The last hunt is Baroth, Volvidon, and Sand Barioth. Okay. Common weakness? Bias? No, not quite. Not quite. What has Alvian posted? He seems to be not quite understanding what this room is about. It's not, hey, I've posted, now it's first come, first serve. Like, it's not exactly in order of who joined, is it? Like, obviously Cackling was here before Alvian, and he's decided, well, he's posted now, my turn. No, dickhead. But I guess we'll... You know what? I will humour him. No, I won't humour him, actually, because I've already rolled. I've already rolled the quest, and we're going to do that. We're not doing his quest because, you know, whatever wishful thinking brought him to posting that quest, presumably without asking if he could first, I'm not going to indulge him. What should I bring? Probably something more general use. Yeah, let's use Shining Ishtar, why not? Yeah, so this is my old Gunlance set. Yeah, see what I mean? Absolutely no sharpness skills. This is crap. As a Gunlance set, this is crap. I think any decent Gunlance set needs to have sharpness skills, because the amount of sharpness that is depleted through the regular use of the Gunlance, I suppose you could choose not to shoot it ever, but at that point, go get a lance and use that, you know? Oh great, the room's full. Everything's falling apart. People don't know what the objective is. I don't even have any space left. What have we got here? Who is who? I can't even tell. Because Gunslay and Gunasick, presumably he has a different name in-game to both of those. So I've got no idea. Seriously. I'm happy to kick people from outside of the room. It doesn't bother me. It's just I don't want to kick the wrong person. Whatever grievances I might have with the guy who posted a quest that was not related to random hunt quest commands. Stop! Sorry, it's my controller. Maybe the fucking... I think the port has finally shut itself. Whatever. Can I join now? Or has someone just joined and decided to anchor themselves in the room? Alright. Looks like they've left. Maybe they were told that they were sniping and then they left graciously. Alright. These guys are going to have to get a wake-up call and realize that we're not doing that thing. We're doing a different thing. So where is that? Is it this? No, it includes Volvidon, whatever it is. I think it's this. It's probably this, right? Yes, it is this quest. Alright, here we go. Sorry, Alvian. Well, it was good of him to immediately capitulate to my desires. Although it's not so much my desires, it's just the way we've been doing things up until this point. If I hadn't already rolled a quest, I would have done it, but... No, I had already rolled for something, and the fact of the matter is, it's more interesting to do Baroth, Volvidon, and Sand Barioth than it is to just do a single Silver Athlos. It really is. If you guys feel differently, then I would encourage you to go and play some Monstander and grind for either Rathalos Mantles in whatever G-rank game you want, or Rathalos Gems in Portable Third, and then tell me if you think Silver Rathalos is interesting. Like, Silver Rathalos on his own. It's not like I'm never going to fight him, but if it's a choice between that and the quest that we're about to do, I don't really need to sit there and ponder which of the two is more interesting. Room is full. And this Guns Slay person is trying to get back in, like he has a spot in this room. Actually, maybe Gunslay is the guy. Sorry, maybe he is the guy. Yeah, probably is him, yeah. It was, in fact, the other person whose name I couldn't recognize that was sniping my spot. It's all very confusing. His name is Adi. Adi. Okay. Seems that Mikasa was happy to leave after I explained the situation. Alvian is back, and I don't know where 4 PM has gone. What's the relevance of 4 PM as a time of day? I could not even imagine. Looks like the team is finally all here. Well, ironically, it's now been 2 hours since I started the live stream, so I would be able to finish, but no. That would be a nasty thing to do, not just to my audience, but also to the people that I'm playing with, so I wouldn't do that. 4 PM has named his cat GG. Anyway. I remember when GG first came along in gaming, I didn't realize that it meant good game, so I actually read it as good going. You know, that was the only... Like, in the context in which it was used, the only common phrase that I could think of that it would mean was good going. But it actually meant good game, which, for me, it doesn't really work in most games. Maybe it's in a very specific genre of games where good game will work. It's where it is like a round-based gaming experience, where you sit in a lobby with people, and then a game will start, and then you finish that game. You know, that makes sense when you say good game, but when people use it in a game like Monster Hunter, it's empty. It's got no meaning. You know, it's just... It loses its meaning at that point. It feels like something that's been pulled out of a different community, pulled out of a different gaming experience, and shoehorned into this one. It's lazy, and it's not in any way applicable. I guess it's wrong to say not in any way applicable, but it doesn't feel quite right. Not to me. Makes more sense to say good job, or good hunt, or nice work, or something like that. But good game? No. That's a genre-specific thing to say. But, you know. That argument sort of falls by the wayside when your average person chooses not to actually observe that interpretation, so I get it. I will continue having what has apparently become an unpopular opinion. And then there will be a group of people who no doubt exist who will say, "This guy's really overthinking it, what's he on about?" Well, it's not about overthinking it, it's about thinking. That's what I would say to that. That is a Nahabra that I want to carve, actually. 3 Nahabra carves should... No. I attempted to avail myself of an opportunity to get 3 Nahabra carves, but I missed out on it. Thank you for shooting me. I probably didn't even need to thank him. He would have done it whether I was suffering the effects of mudblight or not. That I am almost certain of. Oh god. I wouldn't mind if I were not trying to work up towards a heavy shot combo, which has now twice been interrupted. At least I managed to get it out eventually. Well, that's the Barroth dead, unsurprisingly. He is one of 3 monsters, so I shouldn't even express so much as a modicum of surprise. Is it just me, or does this Nahabra have a more sandy yellow or sandy brown coloration of wings? It would be amazing if the Nahabra's colors changed depending on the locale. It would be amazing, because I have a distinct feeling that Nahabra's wings are not sandy brown if you encounter them in the flooded forest, for example. Do you reckon I'm correct about that? That would be amazing. That would be a little detail that I had not noticed in all my time of playing Monster Hunter that I may have just noticed. I could be wrong, but it just struck me in that moment because the color of the Nahabra's wings was really quite close to matching the surrounding colors of the locale. And I don't think that they're normally that color. So yeah, that would be really cool. I think they're usually more of a reddish color. No, do you know what? That's probably exactly what it is, because if you think about it, the Nahabra bows, there are multiple different colors of Nahabra bow. So that might actually harken back to an intentional design decision to change the coloration of a Nahabra depending on the locale. I could be entirely wrong, I could be completely off base, but I think I'm right. And this might be known, this might be a known thing, and I just don't pay attention to things like that. This guy, I mean, it's not his fault, he's just using a gun, whatever, but seriously. Oh, hey Baines, good to see you. Sorry, I was quite late in actually noticing your comments there. Apparently, most people realize this. once they play stories. But yeah, I didn't actually notice it until just now. Just now. Well, I'm happy to hear that you mentioned me in one of your streams previously. We do have to do that again, Baines. We have to get together and do a recording. It's not going to happen immediately, just because it's like a weird time for me. I am moving house soon, so that's going to be... It's just going to make it harder for me to find time. But that's only going to be for the next few weeks. Hopefully, within a month we can do it. But, yeah, it was good. It wasn't without difficulty, though, when we did finally make it happen, because I think I got up at, like, 5 AM or 4:30 AM or something to do that. But we did, which, to be honest, makes me realize that was probably totally unnecessary, because we ended up doing, like, an 8-hour-long live stream. Something like that. So... Now that I think about it, it was quite unnecessary for me to get up at 5 AM, so... But yeah, no, I'm definitely happy to do that again. The only reason why we haven't, I think, is because either we keep forgetting about it, or we're just in very different time zones, or... You know. Okay, so Sandbarrioth is next, so... This is the correct area. Really? You think he's going to spawn there? I don't think so. I believe he spawns closer to here, isn't that right? Okay, no, he remembers what the spawn point is for this game. I do know that in 3 Ultimate it's closer to that little tower there. But that looks pretty spot on for this game. This scale, brilliant. I don't know who's going to detonate that. It really is the gunner's job to do that. Glad I didn't hit the greatsword guy out of doing his charge. Unintentional or not, I would have felt terrible had I done that. Yeah, I recorded the live stream as well. It's on my YouTube as well. I wonder what game we should do. We should do something like 4 Ultimate. Either 4 Ultimate or Try. Something interesting. That's not to say that Freedom 1 isn't interesting. But I want to keep, you know, working with games that are fun for me. There's something that is not as common on my channel. Although Try is not uncommon for me. I think you were playing Try, but I don't think we ended up... Yeah, we just haven't played together in a while. I think we... Between the recording of that last live stream and now, I think we did play possibly Freedom 2 together, but not recording, just in our own time. But, yeah, I think Try would be a good choice. I'd actually vote for Try before I would vote for 4 Ultimate, because as much as I enjoy 4 Ultimate, sometimes I do struggle to record that smoothly. But, yeah, Try I think would be awesome. Well, I guess I would prefer a game where you had a built character in. If you haven't actually rebuilt a character in Try, or you don't have access to your original save file, then yeah, we probably won't do Try. I suppose 4 Ultimate would be the best choice then, because I do know that you've played a decent amount of that, and I'm quite happy to play more 4 Ultimate. It's so much easier to get into rooms with people these days. In 4 Ultimate as well, so I would imagine we'll have no difficulties getting people to play with while we're doing it. Okay. Yeah, feel free to double check your progress on Try. As long as it's high rank in any capacity, it doesn't have to be endgame, as long as it's high rank. To some extent, I'm happy to do that, so... Yeah. Alrighty, so, while I sit here boiling in my room, in these Terrible temperatures. Oh, you know what? No. I mean, the volume of this live stream has been fine, but I just realized that I had actually attenuated the volume of my PC capture, which was why I was having to boost the volume of my PPSSPP emulator beyond what I normally would need to. That had actually confused me. Now I realize what the problem was. Okay, that solves that mystery. I don't think that was a mystery that any of you were sitting there with bated breath waiting to be resolved or revealed, but yeah, that's gone and solved a mystery for me. But yeah. No, it's all good, Baines. I am finishing the live stream anyway, because I am 2 hours and 11 minutes in, and I've got an anime date with my anime watching buddy. So I will take my leave. I do thank you all for watching, and I will try to go live at least 2 more times before I move, maybe even 3 more times. Maybe I'll try to really increase the frequency of my live streams in the lead up to what may be a dry period that lasts at least 7 days, could be 14, we'll see how we go. But there will be a dry period, and yeah. Either way, I will see you all next time. Bye bye for now.